What's going on, guys? Today's video, we're gonna have a look at the Hasbro Avengers Infinity War. This is Black Widow. We're gonna grab this to figure out how tall this is. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'm just being silly. The figure is about 5.5, closer to about 5 3/4 of an inch tall. For accessories, she does come included with what looks like her batons attached, so it actually looks more like a staff than anything else. It does look like it's been cast in black plastic and has some additional silver that's been painted in there. Not so bad here. Gets a little on the sloppy side here. Yes, somebody missed their mark and covered over the black band. It's barely noticeable until I've now pointed it out to you, and that's all you're going to be looking at. You're very welcome for that. It's not terribly bad. One thing I have noticed, however, though, is because it's very soft plastic. Be very careful putting this into her hand. Like Captain America, she actually only has one hand that opens up to hold it, the other hand completely closed shut. So when you are putting it through into her hand, there was a section here. Oh, I think it's right here, actually. Oh, there's another faux pas right there. But I did find, yeah, it's right there. I started putting the staff in her hand, and I accidentally bent this. And I've noticed there's a little bit of a stress mark that's developing here. So caution should be made. Don't bend this too much, because the last thing you would certainly want to do is warp it or bend it to the point where it gets stress marks and eventually breaks. That would be such a sad day. Oh, could you imagine? That would throw off not only that day, not only 5 days later, but I'm willing to think for the next 5 months, at the very least, that would really bum you out. Anyways, she does come also with an Infinity Stone, which apparently does pair up to something called Hero Vision. I'm gonna have to look more into that. Here, it looks like it's more watermelon candy versus the very disgusting pineapple candy that came with Captain America. It is pink. I don't know if that's intentional that they gave the pink stone to the girl. Girls love colors other than just pink, and yet they gave the pink stone to the female. Anyways, I don't know. There's a peg hole on the back side, fancy that, on the back of the stone. And of all the places it attaches to, it attaches right to the staff, just like so. Yeah, okay. I would have either given her a different weapon altogether, or I probably would have given her some other means to hold the Infinity Stone. It just seems so much already like an afterthought, but it seems like it's like they couldn't think of any other place where this stone should go, that they said, you know what, we'll just put a peg on the staff. Nobody's going to care. Well, this guy cares. Well, actually, I don't really care that much. But, yeah, it just seems like it's a little afterthought. Not only is the stone an afterthought, but especially the placement specifically here on Black Widow. Let's go ahead and take that out of her hand and try our best not to warp this. That's the last thing I would want. That would totally just ruin my next 5 months. Just to show you a scale comparison, by the way, between this figure and the figures we've already looked at. First thing we had to look at was Iron Man. Not considerably that much shorter than Iron Man, so sizing on these, dimension-wise, they're not the most accurate. I guess she really should be a little bit shorter, but you can't really make these figures overly tiny either. But those are the three figures. Cap clearly has the most color of the three figures. I feel it's almost even a toss-up. No, I'm going to give it to her. I'm going to give Black Widow the least amount of colors on so far the three figures that we've looked at. Just thinking pineapple candy right now. I so dislike pineapple candy. I don't like banana candy either. Two things that never taste, and blueberry candy. Those are three things that never taste like their natural counterparts. They always just taste really janky. Anyways, let's have a look at Black Widow, who is now sporting I don't even want to say blonde hair. It's almost even borderline white hair. I find it utmost creepy. Whatever explanation they could give this to her, maybe, you know, because she's running from the law, they've, you know, if that's the story we're going to run with, and that's why she's gotten the more lighter, fair hair, maybe. But it does seem overly creepy. I'm not happy with this choice, but I'll accept it. I'm going to move on from it. I'm not going to be as devastated about it as I am about the Infinity Stone. So she is very, very pale. Light-colored skin to start off with, but then on top of that, you've got the very bleached nature of her hair here, which is a soft, almost rubbery plastic. The face, actually, despite the fact that I'm not crazy about the hair color, the hair sculpting as well as the face are actually pretty good all around. I don't know if it's intentional, but it looks like they painted a slight gap in between her lips. Or maybe I'm just crazy and I'm seeing that, but it seems as if I can almost make out a pair of teeth peeking their way, hi there, hello through there, through the two lips on her face. Two lips. The eyes aren't bad. Looks like there's a little bit of the white paint right above her eyebrow. Other than that, not overly terrible. Unfortunately for the rest of the figure, though, everything else is either black plastic or it's this slightly greenish plastic, making up the torso, and the rest of the body is just all black plastic. There is very, very little happening here. She doesn't have, well, here's the packaging. We're going to bring that in. A much better looking Scarlett Johansson here, but still not digging the white hair in all honesty. She does have some variations in tones. Even the black areas have some additional grays. The greens look like they have some slightly darker shades of green. I don't know what's happened here. They've just decided just to sculpt either the torso. I'm guessing the torso is the green plastic, and then they've painted the flesh skin tone area of the neck collar, and then the rest of the figures is cast in black plastic. I don't know, it also doesn't look like it's quite the same sculpt. If we are to assume that this is the outfit that she's going to wear in the movie, you can see that there's these noticeable straps running across the bodice or the chest area of her torso. Doesn't seem to be the case here on this, so I don't know if maybe it varies slightly in the movie. The costume does have nice sculpts. You can see that it's got she's got a couple of different weapons like in holsters here. Of course, she's got her little zappets on her bracelets here, but none of which has color. So, as good as it may be, it gets slightly lost amongst all the other black that's on the plastic here. There's the back of the figure. Paint really could have gone a long way, so it does feel slightly on the unfinished side. If you ever look on eBay, and periodically you might find somebody selling prototypes, which is always laughable at how they can get prototypes, but they always sell a prototype, quote unquote. I almost feel like this is kind of what you normally expect to see. It's never ever one color of plastic. It may be like a torso color, and then everything else is the other color. This is kind of what I get when I'm looking at the Black Widow figure here. I feel as if she almost comes across like an unfinished prototype, just by nature of the fact that she doesn't have any additional paint, where I think paint could have honestly gone a long way. It's not saying that Cap is a fantastic, you know, considerably bigger, higher caliber figure, but at the very least, they went in and painted some additional things. Even Iron Man had some additional golds and silvers. Could have gone a little bit extra, I think, when it comes to Black Widow here as well. Posability on her. Her head rotates all the way around via a ball joint, same as the other figures. And same as the other figures as well, the arms hinge outward. Rotation all the way around. She has a bend at the elbow, which also allows the forearms to rotate. And she has 0 in the way of wrist articulation. Nothing also in the waist. And the only other thing you're going to get is this. And equally so, this. More so this, little less so this. And then she does also have peg holes on the undersides of the feet. In all honesty though, I don't find any of the figures have tough times standing. Despite the fact that her footprint is a little bit smaller and she has what looks to be makeshift heels, Black Widow stands just as well I don't want to say even better, because she stands on par with the other two figures that we had a look at so far. Despite whatever reason the movie studios had for making Black Widow's hair white. I guess, again, she's undercover, so maybe that's why she dyed her hair white. I don't like the look personally, but I think this figure is actually pretty good for looking like Scarlett Johansson, and more importantly, Black Widow. Sure, again, she could have had some much needed, and I can't stress this enough, much needed additional paint added to the otherwise almost prototype feeling plastic. Because so much of her body is the same color of plastic, she really does feel slightly unfinished. She also does have a staff, which has the connector point where you can attach said Infinity Stone. Looks a little awkward. Looks as if they kind of ran out of ideas as to where that stone should go, but that's the nature of the basic class figures. The quote-unquote gimmick is the fact that the Infinity Stones come with the figures and attach, so far from what we've seen, to the weapons or the accessories that come included with the figures. So I guess specifically for the Black Widow figure, that's as best that they could come up with. We'll just attach the stone. I would think for the nature of how heavy maybe that stone would be, that would be pretty awkward to carry around a staff with a heavy top weight like that. It probably would break and snap the staff in half. Anyways, I'm dissecting this much more than I really need to. A good looking figure, could have used some additional paint. Today we were having a look at the Hasbro Avengers Infinity War. This was Black Widow. If you guys haven't had a chance to hit that little subscribe button down below, make sure you do so. We're going to have a look at some more. In fact, actually, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a look at a whole ton of Avengers Infinity War figures. So, kind of revealed my hand so far. I guess I probably could have just waited and not said that. But lots more videos coming your way, guys. So stay tuned for those. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.